We are back in Tiny Atoll, our Caribbean atoll build, and today we're going to claim this very island and turn it into a mixed habitat. So let's get going. And I'm gonna be honest with you, this is starting to be very hard to do. We are back in Planet Zoo 1, but knowing everything of Planet Zoo 2 and seeing what's coming, you know, building in here is becoming increasingly annoying. And also with the fate of knowing what Planet Coaster 2 can do as well, I have to live through it. Nevertheless, this is a very interesting episode because we are doing something rather organic, you know, something more along the line of using the system to its advancements without going too crazy into any kind of heavy detail. We are making use of the natural area of this little island. We are going to make a little habitat mixed with the wallaby, the koala, and Sussex chicken, actually. And some will say, what the heck is this chicken doing over there? Well, it's just kind of my experience of being in any kind of tropical region in the world. We've got chicken over there. They're like always chicken everywhere. They're like chicken, no matter in Hawaii or in Thailand or in Bali or wherever you are, Dominican Republic, everything that is somewhat Caribbean tropical has chicken on it. So here we go, we have got chicken. So the idea is this is a island which equals as a walk-through habitat, but that shouldn't be all. We will keep it also not only as such, we will also have like a little facility on it, like a tiny little restroom and some little shops, you know. But that is really meant to be like a little meandering island on which we can also put some, you know, beach chairs and sun loungers eventually to, you know, make the guest also go here and have a little fun time on the beach. I gotta say also that, and that's a kind of the cool bit, you know, these animals are all not aggressive or whatsoever, so you can rather easily spend time on that island and, you know, just have a nice time with the little animals around you. I guess that's fun. And this episode is somewhat special due to the fact that I have koalas in trees. And for those of you who've been following the channel for a long time, you know that this was always a huge fail. Ever since koalas were introduced with the Australian pack a long while ago, I never had them climbing into trees. It was a nightmare. I remember putting them in Yosemite Valley, and I don't know how many times I redid the habitat. They were like never climbing on trees. Eventually though, they were always escaping via the roof, which till this day, I've got no idea how they got on the roof if they didn't use the trees. So either they just did this whenever I logged out, and whenever I logged in, they have done it. Somewhere in the deep source code of the computer, they have done that. I don't know. But like, no matter what I did, also to Sicily, they were always like swimming, other than, you know, being in the trees, what these animals should do. And that is a very good talking point, because that is one thing I can rather ensure you. Frontier has already told us when we've been at the offices that they will have a lot more emphasis on the animal's behavior. They know and they are aware that in the first game this somehow never worked exactly how intended, and you know that goes down into a bit of the way how the game was designed and how the code worked and how many behaviors they could display at a time. But they have redone the system so that not only they have a lot more realistic patterns that they follow, you know, during their time in the habitat, they also will do more of the stuff that they are known for. So you will find koalas all the time in the trees. You will find birds flying a lot more than, you know, you would not see them flying. And this is a lot what people have said, and potentially it's also true, that when we would have gotten actual birds in Planet Zoo 1 with the system at hand, they would potentially have suffered from the same issue I had with the koalas. You know, they would have barely flying around or flown around. They would have most likely sit on the ground all the time and you know, ran around like crazy little birds without the ability to fly. So that obviously worked pretty well for like the ostriches and stuff like that, or like flamingos, you know, even though flamingos technically could fly if they haven't gotten chopped wings, you know. But yeah, I mean, I'm just like fairly happy that we will get to see this. But eventually, and this is also something I am totally enjoying right now, is the outlook that we will have a wonderful new game in the future, and that this is my last series in Planet Zoo 1 gives me enough power and will to continue on and finally have this wonderful project over here done. I have got so many ideas for zoos. In fact, there's still a long list of about 12 ideas I wanted to do in Planet Zoo 1. I have not gotten to. So that's a good starting point, I guess, for Planet Zoo 2 eventually. And yeah, in a couple of weeks, we will start to discuss what kind of project we could do at the beginning. If you want to, let me know in the comments in this very video what you would love me to do, what kind of idea you have. Like, I have a lot of ideas. I always wanted to do like a rescue station. I started that dolphin rescue station the other day, and I never ended because I hope that mods were getting better. And don't get me wrong, it's not that mods are bad. Like, people have done stellar jobs with creating mods for Planet Zoo 1. It's more like that the base system, the base game didn't offer the potential to eventually have very nice, like, citizens, for example, or fish or whatnot. It was really more about the fact that the game didn't have the technology at hand that modders could leverage from. So yeah, I stopped that project because I was like, okay, it's not really that displaying what I wanted to do. However, the idea of turning a rescue station into something rather nice is still very much in my head. I also wanted to do like a proper city zoo, which we have started with Venlo Zoo, but I couldn't finish Venlo Zoo due to the unfortunate situation of the performance. I don't know what exactly I've done. I've tested 10, 15 times if I'm able to fix it. But I wasn't, so yeah. Nevertheless, let's have a little quick talk about. Most of you potentially have been in the live stream, at least in one of the live streams, where we have been building this. In case you heard English broken for today, in case you haven't heard of it, I am live streaming very regularly at the moment. The easiest way to find out is just check out my Discord, join my Discord, and then you'll find out my live stream schedule. Well, schedule is a little bit too much, but I will eventually let you know when I'm planning to stream. I do try to stream from time to time on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, but that is going to be mixed around a little bit more due to the World Cup at the moment, and also due to other parties and stuff that are around. So I guess at the moment the most likely thing is Tuesdays and Thursdays, or like today, we were going to stream on Friday. So if you are willing to join me, we are streaming tonight. However, it's not going to be Planet Zoo. It's going to be Planet Coaster 2 for a change, because I have abandoned Planet Coaster 2 for 2 weeks now due to all the hype around Planet Zoo 2, and I want to go back to my very beloved Planet Coaster 2. And we're building a very cool coaster station. It's going to be very mythical, very like foresty. So if you're into that, it's going to be really high themed, and I'm really looking forward to. So that would be fantastic if some of you would join there. I would really love to see you guys there. Also, back to this build over here. I did do 2 different kind of little booths over here, and they turned out very nice. I really love them, and I do hope that in the second game we get the same like option to plop these things just randomly everywhere. I really, really like the idea of having these kind of little shops and just, make sure that they just kind of spark the idea of getting like a little, snack here and there. I remember last year we've been to Biopark in Valencia the first time. It's a very, very nice zoo and a very nice park. I just really genuinely enjoyed it being there. However, there was also a couple of corners which were like super in the shade, where they had these like little booths, and most of them were actually closed in the heat of the midday. That was like exactly when I needed the drink the most. They were closed, but I got it. Like they were so exposed to the sun that you couldn't really, keep going there. So we eventually found some more in the shadows and stuff. That was really good. Really enjoyed that, and had some really good drinks there. But yeah, I just like these little kiosks. If they weren't like so crazily expensive, they would be even cooler. I remember also a couple of years ago on Taron, and for those of you who've been on Taron, a famous German coaster in Phantasialand, there is that extra queue line, which is they can add that queue line if it's very busy, and they did have that area exposed to the sun like crazy. Nowadays they have at least a couple of roofs there, but back in the day that was like basically a parking lot enclosed by like a dark huge wall that even did make it even so much hotter in there. And yeah, we stood there, and then they brought like a little wagon with like drinks and stuff. And I thought, oh, look at that, they're so at least so nice to give us some drinks for free. Hell nah, they asked like, I don't know, €4 for a 250 milliliter water. That was like, I felt betrayed. I was so furious to them, but I think they noticed right away how people got super annoyed in no time, and then they brought at least free still water at some point. Yeah, that was insane. I really hope that still you'll be able to put all these little shops down. Anyways, I just like, it's a kind of a side story. However, skipping forward a little bit, you've seen I built like a little gate, which was the entrance to that island, at least to keep them animals a little bit contained. It's all open island over here, so it's not really necessary to put that many fences actually in, and especially these animals who are not dangerous to at all to the people, they don't need to be contained whatsoever. It's not like that the koalas would swim away into the ocean. The same goes obviously for the wallabies, so it's not really necessary to focus so much on fences and stuff in here, which is a very nice change for a change. And it also kind of has already the idea of a sanctuary. So we are looking a little bit ahead of time, I guess. But yeah, that bridge design turned out very nice. But I guess all of you want to see this in-game now. So let's quickly hop over and have a look how that all turned out. Okay, so here is the finished island. As you can see, this is basically it. We come down here. This is where the bridge goes over. And there's a couple of little things on the beach I have to still finish. But more or less, this whole area over here is fixed. This island now is fixed too. This is going to be the next episode, which is going to be like a very cool habitat because it's going to be paired with a little bit of a hotel area. So a couple of little lodges over here, and in the center there will be some kind of habitat. And then this is going to be a bit of a bigger habitat paired with a nice lookout, watch out, kind of a special view restaurant on top of that little central hill. There will be like a kind of nice restaurant, and then you can watch over all the season here, or not season area I should say. And then this is the off island for the Komodo dragons, just a little heads up. But let's go back to our little island over here, and we can, we can actually jump in real quick to just explore this on our own. So we basically come in here through that gate, and then you can see there's already quite a lot of the wallabies waiting on us. That is such a cool. Actually, you know what? We can have a little shot over here. That looks really damn cool, and I want to just quickly change a couple of things here because as a shot that looks gorgeous. Really am a big fan of it. So that is definitely something I want to have a look. I think you don't really see the changes I do in the graphics, but I've got a nice little photo mode going on here. So nice. Look at them, so cute how they're here having a little cuddle and then just block into each other. Yeah, I'm so curious to see how that is going to look in the new game. I mean, it's already pretty cute and pretty nice looking in this game. You can already tell, like, the wallaby also is not one of the first animals. Been a bit of a late game animal, but like little things you can really tell already that in here, for example, like the hands and fingers, they don't move with the rest of the body. So that is definitely something where Frontier has already done a huge amount of improvements. So you can see now the hands basically become a fixture in the way if you want to. And if you've seen in Planet Zoo 2 footage already, how especially, whoops, there's like a little leg spike over here, how especially with these things, they have done a really good job in having a lot more animations running at the same time. By the way, running is a good point. Let's say, oh my god, there's like another koala on the ground. As always, there's another koala on the ground. I was just like saying koalas in the trees, and I do promise that they are mostly in the trees, but just for that little bit of recording over here, they have the audacity to run around. Can you just please, just for me, go on a tree right now? Let's speed up and see what this guy is doing. Ah, yeah, there you go. Look at that, guys. This is exactly what we needed. This is what we need. Oh, this is so cool. This is so cute. Look at you. Oh, that's such a gorgeous view over here with that kangaroo lying in front of here. Ooh, look at that. What a gorgeous little panorama for us. We can actually have a little shot over here again because I just like the fact how there's one in the tree and one over here. Can we also just quickly, hold on, can I change the atmospheric? Maybe get some sun. Oh, there you go. Look at that. The kangaroo is just about to stand up. The little wallaby, I should say. Oh, they are so cute. Can you turn around your head even? That would be amazing. Look at that, the koalas just, oh my god, like the eyes are closed and it's so cute. Can we just have it open the eyes real quick and the wallaby turn its head a little? That would be, that's almost like thumbnail material, my friends. Oh, without turning around the camera, that is not meant to be, but there you go. Look at this, such a gorgeous little shot over here of them two enjoying their time, you know. That is so good. I'm going to pause again. So there you go. Ooh, I'm so excited. That is so, like, this is, yeah, for those of you who have been with me, they know how special that is for me personally. That koalas decide to be finally in trees. Oh my god, this one is lying down again to have a little rest. Oh, so anyways, again, my hard drive was running full. God, I really have to do that. I love the fact how that little vending machine over here is slightly tilted. So good. And then we've got these restrooms over here. And let's just quickly do one more little walk over here to that little beach buds, whatever, beach kiosks. There we have one, as you can tell over here. There's one where you can grab some coffee, but also some fruit stuff and so on, maybe a smoothie or two. And then if you go to the other side, we have some burritos, excellent over here, just fitting for the World Cup, by the way. And then you can also, you know, wash your hands before you eat, because being in here with the animals might actually cause you to do that. And then you can sit down and just have a gorgeous view here at the sea and just like be here and have a good time. I think this is really good. You can then meander over that island if you want to, and then just come around here and go to your hotel area. This is a bit like the idea I had with that whole thing in mind. And you just come over here, just walk the bridge, you know, and then you get some other gorgeous views here of the rest of the areas. Again, this little beach over here can receive some more love eventually. There you can see that other beach here on the other side where the kiwis run around. And I mean, seeing how good that game still looks, it's kind of incredible to see, or actually to know where this is actually going to go in just a couple months with Planet Zoo 2. It's going to be so amazing. I cannot wait to see where this is going. This is going to be really, really nice. But I'll wrap it up for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that episode and you're with me in the wait for Planet Zoo 2. If you are excited just as I am, please let me know in the comments down below what you're looking forward to most, and also let me know your idea about a potential project for Planet Zoo 2. And last but not least, if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. That would make me very happy, and also, it's going to increase the likeliness that koalas will stay in trees. That's actually a fact. That's true. So if you want the koalas to stay in the trees for me, you have to subscribe. Look, it's going down, so you're not subscribing enough, okay? So I would love if you guys would subscribe to the channel to keep the koalas in trees. And that's all I'm saying. See you in the next one. Bye.